kill me.
I'm the martial arts film freak, and I watched Havoc.
My son is not a killer.
This kid was public enemy number one.
Your son just started a gang war. They just want to shoot him dead. That's the end of his story.
I make one phone call. You go down for life. Get him back.
I'm here to get you out.
It ain't up for discussion.
There are people out there looking for you.
You're not gonna get out of this city alive without my help.
Havoc is a 2025 film that just dropped on Netflix. It was written and directed by the excellent Gareth Evans and of course stars Tom Hardy, Timothy Olyphant, Forrest Whitaker, and Jessie May Lee. Havoc is about a city filled with dirty cops, corrupt politicians, and ruthless gangs, and a group of youths who have got themselves caught in the middle of a world that they simply do not understand the severity of. Havoc's setting clearly sets out that it is more than just your standard action film. This is a sprawling crime thriller. This movie is a chess game that's already in play. We find ourselves having to pick up the pieces and find out where all the pieces lie to put the story together. Between the cops, politicians, and gangs, everyone is there to play a role. And before we jump into the action, I will say that when it comes to this movie being a serious crime thriller, it's not the best one you're going to find. A lot of our characters are extremely one note, and because we already find ourselves in the middle of this story, there's no development for anyone to go anywhere. As soon as we meet somebody, that's pretty much how they're going to be the entire movie. There's only one or two characters that find any sort of growth. All of the other characters pretty much just fall into your standard cop drama stereotypes. And all of the performances are pretty much fine. All of the performances are solid, except Forrest Whitaker at times is really hamming it up. There's a few deliveries that he has that I'm like, Forrest, what are you doing? And while it may not have the most interesting characters in the world or even a bombastic story for us to delve into, the whole first hour of the film is setting up who everyone is, who are these roles and who is playing these roles. And for that, it actually does a very good job because we don't get the first action scene until 54 minutes into the movie. And that is because it is laying the pieces out for us to figure out the stakes and who everyone is, the destination of where we are going and all that stuff. So by the time we actually get there, it is worth the journey in that first hour in learning all these characters and the roles they all play. Once you hit that 54-minute mark, the chaos is worth it. It's not even chaos. It's what this movie is titled. It's Havoc. The final 50 minutes of this movie is just continuous insanity. It's exactly what I needed. It's probably what a lot of action fans needed, as we've been waiting on this movie for about 4 years, maybe even 5. I think this movie started production before COVID. And when the action starts, it is a true breath of fresh air. While it is familiar, it is Gareth Evans' action style that we're all used to for the past almost 15 years. Gareth Evans, his work is so staggered, he doesn't constantly have something coming out every other year. So whenever we do get something from Gareth Evans, it always feels nice and new. Even though it's Gareth Evans, we're used to it, but it's just still refreshing. Gareth Evans' style of capturing action is unmatched in my personal opinion. He has an eye for the camera, he has an eye for geography of a scene that no one else has, and he has a style of capturing it that no one else does. He will lay out an entire scene in every single detail. We know where every single character is, and instead of just cutting to another area of the room, that's an easy way to lose focus as to what's going on. Instead of doing that, he pans. So we'll see something going on in one moment, and then he'll pan over to something else, and so we can get a good idea of what's going on in this general area, and then he'll start cutting. So we know exactly what's going on in every single scene. It's something simple, it's something people probably don't think about, but it is something that is so nice to see in Gareth Evans films. And something that I always find super entertaining, it made me chuckle a couple times in this movie, is that if he doesn't pan over, he'll keep an unbroken shot, and then he'll just have like someone or something or a group of people just enter the frame from outside. And because we've already got a good idea of the geography of a scene, it's not a big surprise. We knew exactly where they were coming from. Again, it's something a lot of people probably don't think about. It's probably something stupid that I like to see, but I like to see it. To contrast his clean filmmaking style, the way he captures the action, it's what he is capturing. What he is capturing is utter insanity. It is chaotic. It is violent. It is absolute brutality. Evans has a way of creating these absolutely violent set pieces, and the way he films it makes it feel like perfectly organized chaos. It always works beautifully, and I think you can really see the evolution of his filmmaking style from 2011, 2012 with The Raid all the way up to today. And I think a lot of that has to do with two people, one of them being Jude Poyer. Jude Poyer is a Hong Kong stuntman from back in the day, and today one of the best action designers and fight choreographers in the business. He worked on this, but he also worked on Gangs of London, and I think Gangs of London is where a lot of Gareth Evans' evolution began. There is a similar energy to the French film Havoc, a film that Jude Poyer was also the action designer on. But I don't think that the director of Havoc was able to translate Jude Poyer's action as well as Gareth Evans. Jude Poyer and Gareth Evans are truly a match made in heaven, in my opinion. The other person that aided Gareth Evans in his evolution of violence is, of course, Timo Tjahjanto, because they both have this way of filming, of capturing just pure violence, gore, brutality, and none of it ever feels mean-spirited. That's something about Havoc that works really well, just like Timo Tjahjanto's films, The Night Comes For Us, The Big Four, Headshot, and the Shadow Strays, is they're completely gory, violent films, but they never feel mean-spirited. They never feel cruel. It's brutal, it's brutality, but it's never rude. And it makes sense because honestly, ever since their collaboration, and I think VHS 2 back in like the early 2010s, it's honestly felt like for the past decade that Gareth Evans and Timo Tjahjanto are like cinematic siblings. And the sound design is a big standout, especially when it comes to the guns. The way the guns sound in this movie makes every single shot sound even more violent than the last. And of course, the special effects surrounding them, the squibs, the splintering of walls, the splattering and tearing of flesh with every single shot, that mixed with the sound of the weapons is just loud and devastating. Again, something that translates very well in Gangs of London, and if you've seen that show, you know exactly what scene I'm talking about. But it's more than just the filmmakers and people behind the camera. You also have to look at who we have on screen. Because, you know, even if you have excellent action filmmakers, you can still have some performers who can totally ruin a scene. That is not the case, thankfully, with Havoc, as Tom Hardy does an excellent job bringing his incredible intensity and wonderful physical performance to this role. He's no Scott Adkins, he's no fighter. However, it is clear that he's got some solid grappling, which makes sense. He's a jiu-jitsu guy, and he seems like somebody who really learned how to throw down on the streets. Someone else who does a good job is the actress, I've got it written down over here, Quellen Sepulveda. Sepulveda? Yes, let's go with that. She's no fighter, she's no martial artist. However, her scenes, she is very good as someone who is just desperately trying to stay alive. And of course, the karate hottie Michelle Waterson gets to throw down in Havoc. She does a fantastic job. She breaks the trend of mixed martial artists who just fail to translate their real skills to fake fighting. Of course, she is also a stunt woman, so that probably helps, but she looks excellent in this film. She comes off as a total badass, which makes sense because I myself, of course, would not want to fight her any day, anytime, in the streets, in the ring, in the cage. I'm good. I'm backing out. My only issue with her stuff is I wish that there was more. But of course, Michelle Waterson is truly one of the many highlights of Havoc. Wrapping it up, I did have a really fun time watching this movie, especially in the back half when all the action started. However, a lot of the character stuff that is just kind of okay, the story that's not great, just an action crime thriller where the thriller part isn't really that thrilling, kind of leaves Havoc with, I'd probably give it a solid 4 out of 5. I like it. I had a lot of fun, but there's a lot of things that could be better. What I honestly feel like is it feels like this could be almost a 3-hour movie, which sounds insane, but I would like to see this movie kind of start with all the preamble, all the things that made the cops dirty, maybe see some cops being nice, good guys, and see them go bad, and then have, you know, some of the other characters come around in the end and say, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. This feels like it could have been a much longer movie and was probably cut down quite a bit. But you know what? I had a fun time nonetheless. So tell me what you thought of Havoc in the comment section down below. Was this movie worth the wait? Because let's be honest, we all had to temper our expectations. We've been waiting for this movie for like 4 or 5, almost 6 years. So, you know, it's something you have to just kind of ignore all the baggage that comes with it and just take the film as it is. If you go in with all those expectations, you're going to end up hating it no matter what, even if you actually loved it. So tell me what you thought of Havoc in the comment section down below, and also let me know your favorite Gareth Evans movie. Don't forget to head over to Facebook, where there is the Martial Arts Film Freak Facebook page, Instagram, Martial Arts Film Freak, Tristan_Glover on, I don't even know anymore, Blue Sky, Martial Arts Film Freak on Blue Sky, as well as Martial Arts Film Freak on TikTok. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.